here I am in a hotel room, so it must be just the right time for me to talk about some travel ideas or travel tips. So if you're interested in digging into my makeup travel bag, then stay tuned. Okay, so let's dig in. So this is the case that I've been using lately. Now, of course, this is kind of like the foundation, the lipstick, the powder of the day. That is, it comes and goes with the wind, and I see something a little bit better and I start using that. But this one, I believe I got it like at Target or someplace. But what I really like about this case is, even though it's a little bit big, it does have a little handle right here. But even though it is a little bit big, it does squash down and lie flat. But it also zips at the top here like this. So when this flips open, my makeup case, and I'm afraid to do the, see, I'm losing stuff. But my makeup then is easily accessible. And it has these nice pockets on the side that I keep things that maybe I don't have to get to every day, but I don't want mixed in with my other makeup pieces. So this is what I'm going to be picking from when I show you the makeup that I'm traveling with. So this is what I'll be taking my items out of when I show you the makeup that I travel with. So let's get going. All right, where to begin? So first thing, I'll start with the first thing that comes up here, and this little case here. And I will try and link whenever I can find what these are. It's called Blue Avocado. It's just a little bit of a nice, soft zipper bag, clear bag. This is where I keep all my brushes. So I'll show you quickly the brushes that I have with me. None of them are anything too extraordinary, but maybe that's good too, because that shows that I use them all the time and I travel with them. So typically one of the other little tips that I do is, after I take all my brushes out and I've arrived at a hotel, is I take the water glass and I put them in there like that. It just makes it so much easier for when you're putting on your makeup in the morning. And it's also easy, like if you're sharing the hotel room, or your significant other, your husband, your child, or whatever is in there, and you can't maybe do your makeup in the bathroom for whatever reason, you want to bring it out to another area in the hotel room, at least your brushes are all nice and easy to get to, and it keeps them up off the counter. So I'll quickly go through the brushes that I have here. Let me go through one at a time. So the first one that I use for any kind of like powder or light kind of dusting, it's just one of the Echo Tools one. It's really nice and soft, very fluffy. It really works well and rather inexpensive. Oh, and just as a side note, I keep this makeup bag is kept packed all the time. I don't unpack it. This is so I have doubles of all of this stuff if it's something that I also use at home. So just to keep in mind, that means I invested enough in these other products because I did like them enough. Okay, another one. This one is, and some of these don't even have a name. It's a little e.l.f. brush like this, and I use this for any kind of concealer. It really does a nice job of taking concealer and just kind of patting it out nicely. So just an e.l.f. cheap brush there. For highlighter, if I choose to use it, I use this little fan brush, a Sonia Kashuk fan brush. Oh, and you'll hear the little click behind there. I probably shouldn't do that. I'm putting it back in the glass. I still have another night here, so. And then for bronzer, I use this e.l.f. Complexion Brush. Really nice brush. Really nice brush. For blush, I use this blush brush, and I'm not sure who made this. Oh, it's Avon made this little blush brush. It's a really nice shape for fitting in the brush there. Let's see. For eyeshadow, I have, this is a Rite Aid, a Renewal. This is just that little kind of a flat brush, just like that. It's really good for just putting any kind of eyeshadow underneath the line there, or if you're trying to smudge anything. Then I have another one from e.l.f. It's just one of their concealer brushes. I use this to kind of like smudge and blend my eyeshadow. I also then have, and I think this is one of those Target Up and Up, just another one of those little brushes. I use this if I'm using a little bit of highlighter under my brow bone or a little in the corner of my eye. And then finally, my last brush is the IT Cosmetics. This is the most expensive of all the other ones. It's the IT Cosmetics. It's one of these double-ended ones that I really like. So those are my brushes. So let's start digging into all of my makeup. All right, the first thing I pull up is my sponge, my makeup sponge, beauty blender. This is the L'Oreal one. I really, really like this one. It just is. It just gets so bouncy. Now it's fun to use as well. It also does a good job blending. So, Let's see, I'll pull in here. For my powder, I just have repackaged in here, and you'll see labels on everything here. This is using an old Laura Mercier little powder container, but I have my Velvetizer powder in here. I like to use this as my finishing powder right now. Let's see, my foundation that I've been loving right now, and I'll try and do a review on it also. Of course, now you're going to know that I love it, but it's the Hourglass. It's that seamless stick, traceless, whatever. I'll put the full name down below, but the Hourglass one, and this is in light beige. So this is wonderful for traveling too, because you don't have to worry about it being a liquid. And I just use like little spot areas and blend with that sponge, and it works really, really nicely. It doesn't give you high coverage, but just kind of gives you a little bit more of a natural kind of look. But I just have really been liking this. I also use one of my favorite new concealers for covering up redness areas, a little bit of any blemishes or any kind of areas. I have a whole bunch of red. I was scratching earlier and it's really red. This is late in the day too, so that's why I probably look a little frazzled also, and probably why I don't look as fresh faced. But this is one of my favorite concealers right now. It's the Nars, the creamy concealer, and this is in the color Ginger. So I use it in combination with that little white elf blush, and it's really, I usually use a little bit around my nose. Sometimes I'll cover up some little other blemish areas, but in combination with the Hourglass, that's really all the kind of coverage that I've been using. And even with the Hourglass, the stick, I'm not blending it all over my entire face, just in my problem areas, and then covering up anything more with the Nars. I don't use this under my eyes because I typically don't need concealer under my eyes, and when I do use it, it just makes me look so aged and leather. It's just not a good mix for me. So one of my other favorite, and this was a big investment, but has paid off so much because it has all my items together. This is one of the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Instant Look in a Palette. This is the Instant Look in a Palette by Charlotte Tilbury, and what's wonderful about this is it has all of those items that you need for your face, from the bronzer over here to 2 different blushes to a really pretty highlight, and then your 3 eyeshadows right around here. And these are all really, really nice. I'm wearing it today. It's probably not so much left on my skin anymore because, again, this is about 10 hours after I initially applied my makeup. I did reapply a little lipstick, you know, because whatever. But this is really nice, really soft, very forgiving, because what I found when I'm traveling is that the hotel lighting isn't always all that wonderful, right? So I want something that you don't have to be, that's not too overly pigmented or is forgiving if you put too much on, whereas I found that these are really nice and subtle, but just really, really, really pretty. So I have all of these on today. Oh, and the other thing, and I won't show it to you, the back side here is a really nice mirror, so I found that really helpful too. A little bit expensive, but I felt like it's covering all those different products. I do carry one other blush with me just because I like it, and in case I want to just mix something up for whatever reason. And it's one of my Nars blushes. This is in the color Madly because I really like this color, and sometimes I'll wear just this instead of any kind of bronzer, or it's just a really pretty color. I really, really like it, so I have that. Eyelash curler, this is nothing special. I think this is the Shisedo eyelash curler. I honestly don't say I notice any difference between this and just my Revlon one for me, but eyelash curler. My favorite mascaras right now, fortunately it's also inexpensive because remember these are duplicates of everything, is the L'Oreal, the Lash Paradise one. Love this mascara. It's really, really nice, and my lashes need a lot these days, so really nice. My Anastasia Brow Wiz. So I have this, I think, in dark brown or soft brown. Again, I have not been able to find a drugstore version that works as well for me, so I have that. My favorite eyeliner, really nice also. That's a very inexpensive one, and it's the Maybelline Master Precise Skinny one. I use this up in my waterline here and a tiny bit on the edge here. It really has nice staying power, and it's very easy to apply and does not smudge and does not bother my contact lenses. Love that. And my, this looks really very beat up, but this is the Bite Beauty, the little lip mask. I love these. They not only do they really moisturize my lips, I've heard different reviews on it, but they really moisturize my lips. But the other piece I really like, and they look pretty when you put them on. I can't remember, this is one of the colored ones, and I don't know if I can even read what color it is. It's more the rose color. I can show you this a little bit. So it's kind of that color, but it also tastes really good. Well, have you ever had any of those lip balms that have I have one just finished up that has a rose kind of scent to it, but then the whole time I feel like I'm eating perfume. So I don't know, I love this one, so that's in there. But the label does get so awful looking. Okay, I have repurposed one of my paint pots, MAC paint pots, in case, again, I don't feel like using one of those eyeshadows. This is just actually one of the sample cases that you get from Sephora. And this is in the color Underground, so just a MAC paint pot. Really easy to be able to put it in there. You can also do that with repurpose things if you wanted to do with the concealer, just a smaller container of the concealer, but I wanted to keep this one a little more pure and clean and know that it really gets sealed well. Oh, I do have Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. I actually have this in the original. I have this in there. I really haven't been using it very much. I kind of tend to forget about it. And if you're using a MAC paint pot color, I really don't need to use it. So I didn't use it this morning. I probably should have, but it's in there. It's a smaller size one. One of my favorite little Vaselines here. This is the one in the cocoa butter. I use this for my lips. I use this for part of my skincare. I'm not showing you my skincare. I can do that in another video if you would also like, or my other kind of bathroom items. But I actually also use it around the corners here of my eyes, and also here right before I put on any of my makeup. So love that. I have a little extra one of these little sponges if I need to blend anything. And then I have several lipsticks. These are the ones that I'm currently traveling with. The one I'm wearing right now is one of the Estee Lauder ones, and this is in the color, I won't be able to read this right now. The glare is not so good, but it's a really pretty color. I'll try and remember to link it down below. I've talked about this one before in one of my favorites video. It's so moisturizing. It feels really nice on, and it's kind of a nice pick-me-up color, I think. I have one of my, which one is this? I think this is a Smashbox. This is this is an old Smashbox, and it's in the color Cognac. A really pretty kind of brown color. I really like that. So you can see that color. That's a really nice one. It's getting towards its end, unfortunately. I have another one of my Nars lipsticks. I transfer the one I'm wearing that day. I transfer into my bag, so I don't remember. I think it's Leslie. And then this is the most variety I have is in my lipsticks. And then I have one other Nars lipstick, and this is in the color Morocco, which is also a really pretty color here. I'll move it next to a little more orangey. So this is, if I'm doing more of the rose colors here, this is a little bit more, I hate to say orangey, but it kind of is. But it's a really pretty color too, just a Nars one. So that hits my major makeup items. On the other side, which is the zippered side right here, I keep extra little things. For example, I keep a Beauty Blender soap and a fresh one here. So this is the one that I was using. This is just a little sample I got. I have one of my extra other brushes that I really haven't been using lately. I've just been afraid to take it out of my case yet, just in case I wanted to. And this is the Sephora, I think it's the Airbrush Perfect Finish Pro Mini Full Coverage Airbrush. So I keep that in there. Eventually, if I don't use something after several times, it moves into another bag and I do take it out. In the bottom pocket there, that's where I keep just a really nice magnifying mirror for when I need to like pluck my eyebrows, which, ooh, I never did look at them this morning. Okay, they're semi-okay. I have my good old tweezers. I also have this little plastic scoop. When I was using the Velvetizer in combination with liquid foundation, I needed this scoop to be able to scoop it out, and I just haven't removed it yet. And then the final little thing that I have in here is just two of these little Sephora brush cleaner pads. So just if I want to, just to keep on top of actually cleaning my brushes. So that wraps up what I have in this bag. It is now empty. So if you like these kind of videos, let me know. I can do one with my other skincare items that I bring with me. I can do some other kind of little packing tips, like when I shared with you how I like to use this after I arrive at the hotel to set up my makeup brushes. So please let me know. Also, if you're new to my videos, or you've just started watching a few and realizing that I kind of like the content I'm sharing, or I kind of speak to you across there, then go ahead and subscribe. I'm not very consistent and regular with when I upload my videos, also because, as you can see, I'm on the road half the time, or so it feels. You can see that's my suitcase in the back there. So it's hard for me to stay very consistent. And I also apologize if the quality of this video is not on par with what I'm usually using, because I'm recording with my laptop, because I don't usually travel with my whole camera setup. So I also am trying to rely on getting the best kind of lighting that I can in the hotel room. So, but if you really like these, please do subscribe. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to interact with you. I'd love to hear more of your thoughts and comments. And also, if you like this, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It's always fun to kind of get that. It just kind of sometimes gives me that little extra spring in my step when I see that someone was really appreciating the content I was sharing. And I really look forward to the ongoing conversations that we're having. So until next time, maybe next city, maybe I'll be back at home. We'll see. I look forward to reaching out and hearing from all of you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.